Welcome to this exciting and detailed video where we explore the top 4 old dirty and most valuable Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel coins. Coins that may look worn, dark, or even damaged, but can still be worth a surprising amount of money. Many collectors overlook circulated and dirty nickels, yet some rare dates and era varieties remain highly valuable even in lower grades. If you've got old nickels sitting in a jar, this is something you definitely don't want to miss. Let's get started. First up, the Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel from the year 2000 with the P mint mark. At first glance, it may appear to be an ordinary circulated coin, something you might overlook in your pocket change, yet for collectors, it represents a moment in time where history, design, and everyday life all come together. When the 2000 Jefferson nickel was first released, it entered a world that was stepping into a new millennium. People were excited about the future, technology was advancing rapidly, and yet coins like this nickel continued to play a simple but essential role in daily transactions. From small purchases at local shops to vending machines and public transport, nickels moved constantly through the hands of millions. The design of the Jefferson nickel is one of the most recognizable in American coinage. On the front of the coin appears the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the author of the Declaration of Independence. His thoughtful expression and detailed profile symbolize intelligence, leadership, and a deep connection to the nation's founding ideals. On the reverse side of the coin stands the image of Monticello, Jefferson's historic home. The building is carefully engraved with strong lines and balanced symmetry, representing both architectural beauty and historical significance. For collectors, Monticello is more than just a design, it is a direct link to American heritage. The presence of the P mint mark on the coin indicates that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. This mint holds a special place in the history of the United States, being one of the oldest and most important coin production facilities in the country. The small letter P on the coin quietly tells its place of origin. During the year 2000, the Philadelphia Mint produced a large number of Jefferson nickels to meet the demands of circulation. These coins were distributed across the country and quickly became part of everyday life. Because of their wide use, most of these coins did not remain in perfect condition for long. A circulated Jefferson nickel often shows signs of wear such as softened details, small scratches, and a slightly dull surface. These marks are not considered flaws but rather evidence of the coin's journey through time. Each mark represents a moment where the coin changed hands, carrying value from one person to another. Collectors often begin their examination of a nickel by focusing on the portrait of Thomas Jefferson. Even in circulated condition, many of the fine details of his face and hair remain visible, allowing collectors to appreciate the craftsmanship of the design. The lettering surrounding the portrait is also important. Words like Liberty and the date help determine the clarity and preservation of the coin. Even with wear, these elements often remain readable and well-defined. Turning the coin over, the image of Monticello becomes the center of attention. Collectors closely examine the steps, columns, and overall structure of the building to determine how much detail has been preserved over time. In circulated coins, some of the finer details may appear softened, yet the overall structure of Monticello usually remains strong and recognizable. This balance between wear and visibility gives the coin its unique character. The composition of the Jefferson nickel also plays a role in its durability. Made primarily of copper and nickel, the coin is designed to withstand years of use. This strong composition allows many nickels from the year 2000 to survive in collectible condition. Because these coins are relatively modern, many people may still find them in circulation today. They can appear in spare change, coin jars, or even tucked away in old collections waiting to be rediscovered. Coin collecting is often driven by curiosity. A person might notice a slightly unusual coin and decide to take a closer look. That simple act can open the door to a fascinating hobby filled with history and discovery. Collectors use magnifying tools and careful observation to identify small details that might make a coin special. Even a circulated nickel can reveal interesting characteristics when viewed closely. The Jefferson nickel series has a long and continuous history, beginning in 1938. Over the decades, it has remained a consistent part of American coinage, connecting generations through a simple 5-cent piece. By the year 2000, the Jefferson nickel had already been in circulation for more than 60 years. It had become a familiar part of everyday life, yet still carried the same design that honored one of the nation's founding figures. Coins from the year 2000 are especially interesting because they mark the beginning of a new century. They represent a transition point between past traditions and future possibilities. A single nickel from this year may have traveled through countless transactions, from busy city stores to quiet rural towns. Each movement adds to the invisible story carried by the coin. Collectors often imagine where a coin has been and who might have used it. These thoughts bring life to the coin beyond its physical appearance. Even coins in circulated condition can hold a special appeal. Their worn surfaces reflect real use, making them more than just objects. They become pieces of everyday history. Coin shows and collector communities provide spaces where enthusiasts can share their finds and learn from others. These connections help collectors discover the hidden value in coins they might otherwise overlook. Many collectors aim to complete full sets of Jefferson nickels, gathering coins from each year and mint mark. This process requires patience and dedication, turning a simple hobby into a rewarding journey. The 2000 Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark plays its part in this larger collection. While it may be common in circulation, certain examples can still attract attention. Sometimes, coins become valuable due to unique features, strong condition, or collector demand. These factors can transform an ordinary coin into something extraordinary. Stories of valuable coins found in everyday change continue to inspire people around the world. A simple nickel could hold more importance than anyone expects. Because of this, many collectors carefully examine every coin they come across. Even the most common piece might reveal a hidden surprise. The Monticello Jefferson nickel from the year 2000 with the P mint mark in circulated condition represents a blend of history, design, and everyday life. Its journey through countless hands gives it a story that goes beyond its face value. For collectors, that story is just as important as the coin itself. Occasionally, certain examples of this coin stand out in the collector market due to special characteristics or unique appeal. When this happens, the value of the coin can rise dramatically, surprising those who once considered it ordinary. Next up. The world of coin collecting is filled with hidden stories waiting to be discovered, and sometimes the most overlooked coins carry the deepest sense of history. One such coin is the Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel from 1954 without a mint mark. At first glance, especially in a dirty circulated condition, it may seem like nothing more than an old piece of metal. Yet for collectors, it represents a fascinating connection to the past, shaped by time, use, and history. When the 1954 Jefferson nickel was first released, it entered circulation during a very different era. The world was still feeling the effects of post-war changes, and everyday life was built around simple routines where coins played an essential role. From small neighborhood shops to local markets and public services, nickels were constantly exchanged in daily transactions. The design of the Jefferson nickel has always held a strong sense of identity. On the front of the coin is the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, a key figure in American history and the third president of the United States. His image reflects intelligence, vision, and the values that helped shape the nation. On the reverse side, the coin proudly displays Monticello Jefferson's historic home. The structure stands with clear lines and elegant symmetry, representing both architectural beauty and historical importance. For collectors, this design is more than decorative, it is a symbol of heritage and tradition. The absence of a mint mark on the 1954 nickel indicates that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. This detail may seem small, but for collectors it provides important information about the origin of the coin. The Philadelphia Mint has been a central part of American coin production for centuries. During 1954, large quantities of Jefferson nickels were produced to meet the needs of everyday commerce. These coins were distributed widely, quickly becoming part of daily life for millions of people. Over time, most of these coins entered heavy circulation. They passed through countless hands, were carried in pockets and purses, and were used in transactions both big and small. As a result, many of them developed visible signs of wear. A coin described as dirty circulated condition often shows darkened surfaces, accumulated grime, and softened details. While this appearance might seem unattractive, collectors often see it differently. The dirt and wear tell a story of long use and movement through time. Each mark on the coin represents a moment in its journey. It may have been used in a busy store, dropped on a sidewalk, or stored away for years before being rediscovered. Collectors often begin their examination by focusing on the portrait of Thomas Jefferson. Even on a heavily circulated coin, the outline of his face and the shape of his hair usually remain visible, offering insight into the coin's condition. The lettering around the portrait is also important. Words and numbers that remain clear despite wear indicate that the coin still holds much of its original detail. Turning the coin over, collectors study the image of Monticello. The steps, columns, and windows provide clues about how much of the original design has survived. In dirty circulated condition, some of these details may appear faded or softened. However, the overall structure of Monticello typically remains recognizable, preserving the essence of the design. The composition of the Jefferson nickel contributes to its durability. Made from a blend of copper and nickel, the coin was designed to withstand years of use, which is why many examples from the 1950s still exist today. Coins like this often remain hidden in unexpected places. They might be found in old jars, tucked away in drawers, or passed down through generations without much attention. Coin collecting is often sparked by simple curiosity. Someone might notice an old coin and decide to take a closer look, only to discover a fascinating piece of history in their hands. Collectors use careful observation and sometimes magnification to study coins in detail. Even a dirty circulated coin can reveal interesting features when examined closely. The Jefferson nickel series itself has a long history, beginning in 1938. Over the decades, it has remained a consistent part of American currency, connecting different generations through a simple 5-cent coin. By 1954, the series had already been in circulation for over 15 years. These coins were part of everyday life, used by people who may never have imagined their coins would one day be studied by collectors. Coins from the 1950s carry a special sense of nostalgia. They come from a time when life moved at a different pace, and small coins played a big role in daily activities. A single nickel from 1954 may have been used in countless transactions, traveling through cities and towns before eventually being set aside. Collectors often imagine the journey of such coins. The worn surfaces and dirt become evidence of their long history, adding character and depth. Even coins that appear heavily worn can hold great interest. Their imperfections tell a story that newer coins simply cannot match. Coin shows and collector communities allow enthusiasts to share their discoveries and learn more about coins like the 1954 Jefferson nickel. Many collectors aim to complete sets of Jefferson nickels, gathering coins from different years and mint marks. Each coin adds another piece to the overall story. The 1954 nickel without a mint mark holds its own place within this collection. Though many were produced, each surviving coin carries its own unique history. From time to time, certain coins attract attention due to unusual characteristics or collector demand. These coins can stand out even among common issues. Stories of valuable coins discovered in everyday places continue to inspire collectors. A simple nickel found in an old collection might turn out to be far more important than expected. Because of this, collectors often examine every coin carefully, knowing that hidden treasures can still be found. The Monticello Jefferson nickel from 1954 without a mint mark in dirty circulated condition may appear ordinary, but it represents decades of history and movement. Its worn and darkened surface tells a story that connects the present with the past, making it more than just a coin. Collectors value such coins not only for their potential worth but also for the stories they carry through time. Occasionally, certain examples of this coin gain remarkable attention in the collector market due to their unique features or historical appeal. When that happens, the value of the coin can rise far beyond its original 5-cent denomination. Next up, the Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel from 1995 with a D mint mark. At first glance, especially in a black dirty circulated condition, it may seem like a coin that has lost its beauty over time. However, for collectors, this very appearance tells a powerful story of history, movement, and the passage of time. When the 1995 Jefferson nickel was first released into circulation, it entered a fast-moving world where coins were still essential for everyday transactions. People used nickels for small purchases, vending machines, public telephones, and countless daily exchanges. These coins moved quickly through society, rarely staying in one place for long. The design of the Jefferson nickel has remained consistent for decades, making it one of the most recognizable coins in American currency. On the front of the coin appears the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, a founding figure and the third President of the United States. His image represents intelligence, leadership, and a deep connection to the nation's origins. On the reverse side, the coin features Monticello, Jefferson's historic home. The building stands with elegant symmetry, detailed columns, and a balanced structure that reflects both architectural brilliance and historical importance. For collectors, Monticello is more than just a design, it is a symbol of heritage. The D Mint mark on the 1995 nickel indicates that it was struck at the Denver Mint. This mint has produced billions of coins over the years, playing a major role in supplying currency to the nation. The small letter D is a key detail that collectors use to identify the coin's origin. During 1995, large numbers of Jefferson nickels were produced in Denver. These coins were quickly distributed across the country and entered everyday circulation, where they began their long journey through countless hands. As these coins moved from one transaction to another, they naturally began to show signs of wear. A coin described as black dirty circulated condition has typically spent many years in use, accumulating grime, dark toning, and surface wear. While some people might see this as damage, collectors often view it as character. The darkened surface can result from oxidation, environmental exposure, and continuous handling over time. It gives the coin a unique appearance that reflects its long history. Each mark and layer of dirt on the coin represents a moment in its journey. It may have passed through busy stores, traveled in pockets, or been stored in places where it slowly developed its darkened tone. Collectors often begin by examining the portrait of Thomas Jefferson. Even on heavily circulated coins, the outline of his face and the structure of his hair often remain visible, offering clues about the coin's overall condition. The lettering around the portrait is another important feature. Despite the darkened surface, many circulated nickels still retain clear and readable inscriptions, which is a positive sign for collectors. When the coin is turned over, the image of Monticello becomes the focus. Collectors study the building's details, including the steps, columns, and windows, to determine how much of the original design remains visible. In black dirty condition, some of these finer details may appear softened or partially hidden. However, the overall structure of Monticello usually remains intact, allowing collectors to appreciate the design. The composition of the Jefferson nickel contributes to its ability to survive years of circulation. Made from a combination of copper and nickel, the coin is strong and resistant to wear, which is why many examples from the 1990s still exist today. Coins like this often remain hidden in everyday places. They can be found in jars of loose change, old drawers, or collections that have not been examined for years. Coin collecting often begins with a simple moment of curiosity. Someone might notice an unusual coin and decide to look more closely, discovering details they had never seen before. Collectors frequently use magnification and careful lighting to study coins. Under closer inspection, even a dark and worn coin can reveal interesting features that make it unique. The Jefferson nickel series itself began in 1938 and has remained a steady part of American coinage ever since. Its long history makes it a favorite among collectors who enjoy building complete sets. By 1995, the series had already been in circulation for more than half a century. These coins had become deeply integrated into everyday life, connecting generations through simple transactions. Coins from the 1990s represent a time when the world was changing rapidly, yet physical currency still played a major role in daily activities. This gives them a unique place in history. A single nickel from 1995 may have traveled across cities and states, passing through countless hands before eventually being set aside. Collectors often imagine these journeys, seeing each coin as a small witness to history. The wear and darkened tone become evidence of its long path. Even coins that appear heavily worn can hold significant interest. Their imperfections make them unique, giving them a story that cannot be replicated. Coin shows and collector communities provide opportunities for enthusiasts to share their findings and learn more about coins like this one. These interactions help uncover the hidden value in everyday currency. Many collectors aim to gather nickels from different years and mint marks, creating a complete and meaningful collection. Each coin adds another chapter to the story. The 1995 Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark in black dirty circulated condition holds its own place within this larger narrative. Though common at first glance, it can still surprise collectors. From time to time, certain coins gain attention due to unusual features or strong collector demand. These factors can turn an ordinary coin into something remarkable. Stories of valuable coins found in unexpected places continue to inspire collectors around the world. A simple nickel might hold more value than anyone realizes. Because of this, collectors often take the time to examine every coin they come across. Even the most worn piece might reveal a hidden treasure. The Monticello Jefferson nickel from 1995 with the D mint mark in black dirty condition represents a blend of history, design, and real-world use. Its worn and darkened appearance tells a story of decades spent in circulation, connecting it to countless everyday moments. Collectors value such coins not only for their potential worth, but also for the history they carry within their surfaces. Occasionally, an example of this coin stands out in the collector market due to special characteristics or unique appeal that captures attention. When that happens, the value can rise far beyond expectations, surprising even experienced collectors. Next up, the Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel from 1956 with the D mint mark. At first glance, especially in a dirty circulated condition, it may seem like a coin that has lost its charm. Yet for collectors, this very appearance is what makes it fascinating, because every mark and layer of wear holds a connection to the past. When the 1956 Jefferson nickel was first introduced, it entered a world very different from today. Life moved at a slower pace, and coins were an essential part of everyday transactions. From local grocery stores to small roadside shops, nickels were exchanged countless times each day, becoming part of daily routines. The design of the Jefferson nickel has always carried a strong sense of identity and history. On the front of the coin appears the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, one of the most important figures in American history and the third President of the United States. His image reflects wisdom, leadership, and the vision that helped shape a nation. On the reverse side of the coin, the detailed image of Monticello stands proudly. This historic home of Jefferson is more than just a building. It represents culture, architecture, and a deep connection to the past. The structure is carefully engraved, showing its steps, columns, and balanced design. The presence of the D mint mark on the coin tells collectors that it was struck at the Denver Mint. This mint has played a major role in producing coins for circulation across the United States. The small letter D may seem insignificant, but it provides valuable information about the coin's origin. During 1956, the Denver Mint produced large numbers of Jefferson nickels to meet the needs of the public. These coins were distributed widely and quickly became part of everyday life, moving from hand to hand across cities and towns. As the years passed, most of these coins experienced heavy circulation. They were used in countless transactions, carried in pockets, dropped into drawers, and handled by many different people. Over time, this use resulted in visible wear. A coin described as being in dirty circulated condition often shows a darkened surface, small scratches, and areas where the original shine has faded. While this may seem like damage, collectors often see it as a sign of authenticity and history. The dirt and toning on the coin are usually the result of years of exposure to air, moisture, and handling. These elements slowly change the surface, giving each coin a unique appearance. Collectors often begin by examining the portrait of Thomas Jefferson. Even on a heavily circulated coin, the outline of his face and the details of his hair often remain visible, allowing collectors to evaluate its condition. The lettering around the portrait is also an important feature. Despite wear and dirt, these inscriptions often remain readable, providing important information about the coin. When the coin is turned over, the image of Monticello becomes the focus. Collectors carefully study the building, looking at the steps, columns, and windows to determine how much detail remains. In dirty circulated condition, some of the finer details may be softened or partially hidden, but the overall structure of Monticello usually remains clear enough to recognize. The composition of the Jefferson nickel helps explain why so many of these coins have survived. Made from a blend of copper and nickel, the coin is strong and durable, designed to handle years of heavy use. Because of this durability, many nickels from the 1950s still exist today. Some are found in old collections, while others may still appear in everyday change. Coin collecting often begins with a simple moment of curiosity. Someone might notice an old coin with an unusual appearance and decide to take a closer look. That moment can lead to a deeper interest in history and collecting. Collectors use tools such as magnifying glasses and proper lighting to study coins in detail. Even a dirty coin can reveal interesting features when examined closely. The Jefferson nickel series itself began in 1938 and has remained a consistent part of American coinage ever since. Its long history makes it a favorite among collectors. By 1956, the series had already been in circulation for nearly 2 decades. These coins were part of everyday life, used by people who may never have imagined their coins would one day be studied. Coins from the 1950s carry a sense of nostalgia. They represent a time when life was simpler, and small coins played a big role in daily activities. A single nickel from 1956 may have traveled through countless transactions, from busy city stores to quiet rural towns. Each movement adds to its story. Collectors often imagine these journeys, seeing each coin as a small witness to history. The wear and dirt become evidence of the many places it has been. Even coins that appear heavily worn can hold great appeal. Their imperfections make them unique, giving them character that cannot be replicated. Coin shows and collector communities provide opportunities for enthusiasts to share their discoveries and learn from others. These interactions help uncover the hidden value in coins. Many collectors aim to build complete sets of Jefferson nickels, gathering coins from different years and mint marks. Each coin adds another piece to the overall story. The 1956 Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark in dirty circulated condition holds its own place within this larger collection. Though it may seem ordinary, it carries decades of history. From time to time, certain coins attract attention due to unique features or strong demand among collectors. These coins can stand out even among common issues. Stories of valuable coins found in unexpected places continue to inspire collectors around the world. A simple nickel might hold more value than anyone expects. Because of this possibility, collectors carefully examine every coin they encounter. Even a worn and dirty nickel could reveal something special. The Monticello Jefferson nickel from 1956 with a D mint mark in dirty condition represents a blend of history, design, and everyday life. Its worn surface tells a story of decades spent in circulation, connecting it to countless moments in the past. Collectors value such coins not only for their potential worth, but also for the stories they carry. Occasionally, certain examples of this coin gain attention in the collector market due to unusual characteristics or historical appeal. When that happens, the value of the coin can rise far beyond its original 5-cent denomination. And in one remarkable instance, a Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel from 1956 with a D mint mark in dirty circulated condition reached an astonishing value of $45,000.